Hey, welcome back to Knuckle Sandwich MMA. I didn't mean to rhyme, Nando. I really didn't. But that's my cohort right there, Nando. And he's got the cool, okay, another cool hat, man. Tell us about the hat. What's the hat?
This is one of my oldest ice fishing hats. I have another one that's really nice, but it's because of this hair underneath. It's just as much as the hat. I'm trying to grow my hair out, but it's in a working progress right now.
Well, that's a cool looking hat, though. I really dig that hat. All right, yeah. So, dude, we have a pay-per-view coming up, and this one's a biggie. Going to be super fantastic. A lot of great fights on this card. We got a lot to discuss, so we're just going to jump right into it. And by the way, this fight is happening in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So they're
most
of the Brazilian fighters, of course, are going to be in home territory. That's always a good advantage to have your fans cheering for you. Let's start off from the very bottom. We have Gabriel Bonfim from Brazil versus Monir Lazez from Tunisia. It's a welterweight belt, and I don't show any odds on the UFC.com website. What do you got on this fight?
What was the name? I don't know that I have that one.
Okay, no worries. No worries. We there's no odds, like I said, and let's pick somebody. I'm gonna pick Lazez on this one. I've seen him fight before, and he's got really good form, very, very strong.
Oh, I do have it. It's what I was looking at was messed up. Okay, yeah, I have Gabriel 25, 13-0. This is his debut. Larez is 35, 11-2, 4-5, and his last fight was a win. So I'm gonna go with Gabriel.
Okay. All right.
We're all mixed up.
Next up, we have Shamil. I'm gonna just go with Shamil because his last name is really hard. Versus Jailton Almeida. And this one is a huge spread as far as the odds go. It's a heavyweight bout. We've got Shamil at plus 625 and Almeida at minus 900.
Jeez.
What you got?
Shamil's 41. He's 20 of 7. He's 2 of 5. He has losses to Sergey, Dawkins, and Curtis Blades. Almeida's 31, 17-2. He's on a 12-fight win streak.
Oh, dude,
Are you okay?
Get all over my keyboard, man.
Did those stats surprise you? Coming in hot today.
Wow, I just spit all over I just spit my water out, man. What'd you do to me? Okay, I got it cleaned up. Let's resume. Look at my face is all red. So what do you got on this one again?
Almeida's 31. He's on a 12-fight winning streak. He's 17-2. Shamil is ranked 15 though, so they're trying to get Almeida ranked in this fight.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with Almeida.
Yeah, me too.
That's kind of an easy one. And it's not so much the record; it's the age for me. So I think 41 is kind of getting long in the tooth. You know what I mean? All right. Next up, we have Thiago Moises versus Melquizael Costa, both Brazilians. Lightweight bout. What do you have on this one?
Costa, and I got this all mixed up. Okay, Thiago Moises is 27. He's 16-6, 3 of 5. He has a win. He's ATT, lost to Islam and Joel Alvarez. Costa's 26, 19 of 5, 4 of the last 5. He has lots of TKOs.
And who are you picking on this one?
I'm going to go with Thiago Moises.
Yep, me too. Okay, next up we have Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. And that one is a middleweight bout. Both Brazilians once again. We've got a plus 185 for Rodriguez and a minus 215 for Ferreira. What do you have on this bout?
Gregory Rodriguez is 30, 13-4, 4-5, and he's one of my favorite up-and-coming fighters. He's RoboCop. And then Bruno is 39-0, debut. He's got a lot of punches, a lot of finishes. I'm going to go with RoboCop like I always do. I think he's really good. I think you think he gets gas, but I think he just puts the pedal to the metal and win or lose.
I'm going to agree with you on this one. And my reason for his picking Rodriguez is because I like his reach. He's got a long reach. He fights very, very long. And when he smells blood, he's a finisher. He likes to go in for the finish. He does get rocked on occasion, but I'm still going to go with Rodriguez. Next up, we have Mauricio Hua versus Ior Poteria. And this one is a light heavyweight bout. We've got Ior is from the Ukraine, and we're looking at a plus 170 for Hua versus a minus 200 for Poteria. What do you got on this fight?
Shogun is 41. He's 27-13. He's 2-2-1. He had is Paul Craig. He has a win and a draw to Paul Craig, and he lost to OSP. Ihor is 26, 18-3, 4-5. His last fight was a loss. Shogun's still in it. You know what I mean? His style is not what it once was. So I'm wondering how much longer he has. Is he trying to go for the title? You know, everybody's here. I guess Shogun versus Glover would be a good fight, but these are two older guys. I'm going to go with Ior.
Okay. So just to let you know, this is Shogun's last fight, his retirement fight.
Oh, this is?
Yeah, this is it for him. He wanted to fight.
Man, that changes a lot right there. I'm going to go with Shogun then. This is his last fight.
Yeah, this is his very last fight. So, and he's on his home turf, you know. He's going to probably get a huge standing ovation, and rightly so. I mean, he's been a veteran in the fight game for many, many, many years. One of the oldest guys, one of the first fighters. And back in the day, everybody loved him, his fighting style, everything about him. But he's hanging up the gloves, the 4-ounce gloves with this fight. So this one is, to me, is still hard to pick because he is quite a bit older, and Ior could really make a name off of knocking out Shogun. So I'm going to go with Ior. I'm going to go with your original pick on that one. Next up, we have one that I'm really looking forward to. We've got Paul Craig, number 9 in the rankings, versus Johnny Walker, number 12. Paul Craig, of course, is from the United Kingdom, so he's going to be, you know, in the enemy territory. Johnny Walker is Brazilian, light heavyweight bout. Paul Craig is at a plus 145, and Walker is at a minus 170. And I want your analysis on this fight because I'm interested in this one.
Johnny Walker went to SBG, which is Connor's team, and they were working on some stuff with him, but I just don't see it. Like his loss to JAMAHAL, Thiago Santos, anybody that's making their way has already beaten Johnny Walker. Paul Craig's 35. He's 16-5. He's 4 of the last 5. He has wins over Krylov, JAMAHAL, and Shogun. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think Paul Craig is going to try to weather the storm, and he's going to try to take Johnny Walker down. And he knows that everybody's knocking Johnny Walker, and that's what I don't like about this. Johnny Walker's been getting knocked out too much, and I think he needs to stick to a game plan and not go so flashy, and use his length, use his punches, and not just go in there and start punching and get knocked out.
Yeah. Well, I think he kind of learned because he is coming off a win, as you mentioned, and Craig is coming off of a loss. But the last fight that Johnny Walker fought, he was a different fighter. He wasn't too worried about the flashy. There were a couple of moments where he did some stuff, but the whole fight wasn't that. He was really more grounded and more technical, in my opinion. So if he can keep that up, I agree with you, because when you get too flashy, you fall right into a punch or an elbow or something. But Craig, so I think he has an advantage over Craig because Craig his stand-up's not that good. He's okay, he's all right. But his ground game, man, if he gets Johnny Walker on the ground, it's the fighting style that we talk about so often that if he gets Walker on the ground, he's going to choke that dude out. He's going to choke him out. So, but I'm going to go with Walker.
I'm going to go with Craig.
All right. Next up, we have Lauren Murphy versus Jessica Andrade. And this one is going to be an interesting fight. It's for the women's flyweight. We've got Lauren Murphy with a plus 360 and Jessica with a minus 450. So that's a pretty good size spread right there. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Lauren Murphy's 39. She's 16-5. She's 4-5. She has wins over Tate, Joanna Wood, Roxana Modafferi. She's a loss to Valentina. Now, Jessica Andrade's 31. She's ranked 6th. She's 23-9, 3-5. She has 2 wins. She had the Amanda Lemos standing arm triangle that I said was the greatest. And she loads up. She leaves her face open, though, and she's very powerful, but I just don't know. Lauren Murphy looked a lot stronger and a lot more better in the clinch in the last fight against Misha. But she takes a lot of punches, which I don't like. She takes a lot of punches. Her style is like, oh, I'm a lot tougher than you, and I'm gonna take all these punches, and I don't like that. It's like a Nate Diaz kind of style, and I think she needs to rough her up, keep her against the cage, try to take her down. But Jessica Andrade you're talking about 2 very, very strong women in this weight class, and I think this is going to be a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear what you have to say first, because I'm kind of up in the air on this one.
Okay. What I'm looking at as far as size, Lauren Murphy's 4 inches taller. She's got a 5-inch reach and a 3 arm reach and a 3-inch leg reach over Jessica. Jessica is a pit bull. She's the kind of person that she has to get in close because she's so small. She's small, strong, compact. She fights best in the phone booth, in the clinch, up against the cage. And she's really good at taking you down. But Lauren Murphy seems to have improved on her takedown defense a little bit. And I think with that length, if Jessica can get a double leg, Lauren Murphy's going down to the mat. Okay, where it happens from there is questionable. If she just dominates, I don't think she just dominates her. But the one thing Jessica does have is just vicious ground and pound. Once she gets you down, she's not going to let you up. Murphy is going to have to scramble. She's got to get out of there because Jessica will beat her if she starts ground and pounding, because she's just relentless and ruthless. If Murphy can keep it on the feet and keep that long jab and keep her going and keep the leg kicks going, I think she can slow Jessica down enough to get a decision win on that. So again, another fighting style, ground. Jessica has good punches too, though. I mean, I don't want to discount that at all because her punches are.
She's power. She knocks people out.
Yeah, but if Lauren can stay on the outside as Jessica moves forward and keeps moving around, she can win by decision. If Jessica gets her to the ground and keeps her there, Jessica's gonna earn a TKO or a knockout. So and maybe, I don't know about a submission, but that's what I'm predicting. So I'm gonna go with Jessica on this one because she's got some stuff to prove. Plus, I think she's looking at much bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jessica too. I want to go with Lauren Murphy, but I think it's gonna be a decision. I think Jessica's gonna pull it out.
Okay. Next up, we have another good fight. We've got Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. And Gilbert Burns is at the welterweight bout. He's at a minus 365, whereas Neil Magny is at a plus 300. Now, here's the thing that's interesting before I let you tell me about what your thoughts are. That is, Gilbert Burns is salty about this match. He's wondering why he's got to fight Magny, and he's not liking the matchup. He's angry, so he's going to go in there angry. I saw a couple of press conferences with him, and he doesn't understand it. He doesn't know why, and I think he's going to make Magny pay. So he's going in there with that kind of attitude, and I'll leave it at that.
Wow. Okay, that okay, that changed some things. Gilbert Burns is 36. He's 20-5. He's 3-5. He had a loss to Hamzat, which he was in it. He could have won that. He has wins over Wonder Boy, a loss to Usman. He's gonna drop bombs. He's gonna go to the clinch, I think, in this fight. Neil Magny's 35, 27 of 9, 3 of 5. Elevation Fight Team, which is in Colorado. Win over Daniel Rodriguez. He's a long fighter, great top game. He has this submission, 2 submissions, and then decisions. Eight of the last fights. So he either goes to decision or he submits someone. I don't think he's going to submit Gilbert Burns. I think Gilbert Burns should like this matchup because I think Neil Magny's going to try to he's going to try to wrestle him, and I think that puts Gilbert in the position he wants to be. He's going to show his submissions, but I think Gilbert Burns being so mad, he's going to go in there and throw those bombs, and he might get clipped, or he might, he gets clipped sometimes by these wrestlers, and then he might get submitted, and that would be really embarrassing for him.
So
what do you think?
Who
I'm gonna go with Gilbert Burns.
So did I change your mind with that?
Yeah, well, him being so, I hate when people like that get angry because he's just gonna go out there and start swinging, and he might put himself in danger. But I think he can pull it out.
Yeah, I think he hits a lot harder than Magny, and Magny's been known to when he gets hurt, he's been known to back up, and he'll rely on that fence. And I think Gilbert's deadly against that fence, man. He's deadly against that fence, so he'll fall right into some traps. Gilbert will set some traps, and Magny he'll only fall into the traps when he gets hurt, because it confuses you. You get punched in the head, right? And you move from defense or from offense to defense to survival. And when that happens, you start making bad decisions, and you start running into left hooks and right hooks, depending on which way you cut on the cage. But I see Gilbert Burns pursuing him the whole fight, and Magny fighting on the back foot. So I'm going to go with Gilbert Burns as well.
Okay.
All right. Next up, oh man, we've got a flyweight title bout, and this is Davidson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. This is the 4th fight in the series, my friends. Brandon is currently the intermediate title holder, as Figueiredo is the champ, and all of the fights have been very close, been really good. Well, I don't want to say close, but tit for tat. Last one was pretty close, and this one, the odds are identical, as Goldberg used to say. The odds are exactly identical at minus 110.
Okay. Davidson is 35. He's the champion. 21-2, 3-1-1. His last 3 fights were against Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno is 29. He's 20-6, 3-1-1. He had a great fight against Kai Cara France, and I think that kind of makes a difference. He's seen another look, and Davidson's been fighting the same guy, so I don't know if that helps him. He's working with Cejudo. He's been working with Cejudo, but I just don't know. I think Brandon Moreno is going into hostile territory. He knows what's on the line, and he just wants to finish it. And Davidson's got a chip on his shoulder. He's the champion. He's upset. He's angry, saying all these things, and Brandon Moreno's over there playing with Legos, laughing, and says, "I'm a happy guy." I just love this, and I like that. But I don't know. I hope that in this fight, Brandon goes to the body more, protects the legs, doesn't go into like a slug fight with him. And I hope it's more of a sharper fight. I hope if Davison goes into this, take him down, grapple him, keep him guessing. Because some of the fights they had, it's a lot of stand up, and they're going punch for punch. And I think they need to in this, because this is the last fight. Neither one of them are going to get another fight. So they need to go in this and put a stamp on it, like Volkanovski said, and in this, because they're not going to fight anymore, and they're going to have to figure something out. Brandon's a lot younger, so he still got a chance to wait, see if somebody beats Davison. But Davison, I don't know what he does if he loses. What do you think?
I got a bunch of angles here for you, okay? And you can tell me if they're legit or not. So number one, Moreno, he got caught up in this whole gambling business, tried to stick by his coach, who he really liked, and didn't move to that gym or to that gym too long ago, training, trying to train so he could beat Figueiredo this time. And then all of this stuff comes out. So there's a lot of drama. A lot of people came against Moreno because he stuck up for
Krause.
What's his name?
James Krause.
James Krause. He stuck up for him, and I'm going to stay by him. But then the heat got too much, man, and he had to fly the coop because it was getting deeper for Krause and all those the rest of the team. Luckily, Moreno didn't get caught up with the betting part of it, so good for him on that. And yeah, you do want to be loyal to your teams and all that kind of stuff. But if they're doing wrong, man, you gotta find some other pastor to go to. And he did. He ended up with a new gym and new team. So he's got that stuff weighing on his shoulders. A lot, thrown into the mix during fight camps and whatnot. And I think he's going to be taking that into the octagon with him. On the flip side, you've got an angry Figueiredo, and I watched they had somebody from his team was videotaping him today. He looks, emaciated. I mean, his body is drained. He looks really skinny. They're trying to make him look like he's buff, but he's cutting too much weight. He's getting too old. I don't think he'll ever fight at this weight class again, win or lose this fight. I don't think he can to do that cut again, because you can tell now, and it's Thursday, and you can tell now that dude is drained, man. He's drained. His face doesn't look good. Look a little pasty. He's going to try and put up a good front. I think that if he's not going to do any groundwork because he's going to get gassed. I think he's going to get gassed. That weight cut looked brutal to me. If Moreno can stay strong, stay consistent, and keep pressing, then he's going to force Figueiredo to start throwing those big old hooks, man, trying to get him out of there. He's going to want to get him out of there quick, because that's 5 rounds, dude. They're not gonna last 5 rounds, okay? Moreno may, but I don't think Figueiredo has it in him for 5 rounds this time around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just don't think so. Just from the look, that's what I'm going off of, what he'd look like, okay? And of course, I could be wrong, but that's what I feel. But then again, Moreno's got all this head stuff. What does he learn from this new team in this crunch period? Did he learn? And Figueiredo still going to with Cejudo and working that and getting that wrestling down. I think that it's going to end up being a striking match again. And I think the dude that's most consistent, okay, is the one that's going to win. So I'm going to have to go with Brandon Moreno on this one.
I also am going to go with Brandon Moreno. I think Brandon Moreno needs to work. If you're right, he needs to work the body. He needs to go for that liver kick at least twice in that fight. Try to stop him. Try to, end it. And there's a lot of fights in that weight class. It's being held up for like 2 years. Let's see some fights. Let's see him make a title run. I don't like the three-peat, like just fighting 3 fights in a row. I think it was good for Brandon Moreno to get another fight, get another look, build his confidence, but fighting the same person 3 times in a row, then when you go to that next person, they usually lose because they've been working on the same thing for 2 years.
That's true. That's true. So who are you picking on this one?
Brandon Moreno.
Okay. All right. Next, we got the light heavyweight title bout, and this is a vacant belt vacated by Yuri because of I believe a pretty massive shoulder injury. And the thing I really respect about Yuri is that he didn't want to hold the belt up. And he said, I'm going to vacate it and let somebody else fight because I'll be back and I'll just get it back. Mm-hmm. And it'll be even a bigger fight. So we've got light heavyweight belt, Glover Teixeira versus Jamal Hill. And we've got a plus 105 for Glover and a minus 125, interestingly enough, for Jamal Hill. What do you got on this one?
Glover is 43. He's 33 of 8. His last loss was to Yuri, and that was pretty much his fault. I don't want to call him out, but I think it was his fault. He has all right stand-up, but must take Jamal down. He has a 6-fight winning streak before that loss. So Jamal Hill's 31, 11-1, 4-5, 3-fight win streak. He stands straight. He has a great clinch, but I don't think he should go for the clinch against Glover because that's going to go right to Glover. And Glover's a guy that's been doing jiu-jitsu his whole life. And, I know he's older, but as soon as you get him into that position, he just takes people down. And his jiu-jitsu is razor sharp. So I think he needs to I think Glover needs to not bang with him, just take him down and finish this fight because he's probably got one more fight. He wants to fight Yuri, and then I think he'll probably retire. Yeah, so let's get in there, let's get out, and let's not prove that I can win because then he's adding another year to, and let's try to get this fight as soon as Yuri comes out. He dodged a bullet with what's his name, Magomed. I thought Magomed would be the worst fight for him, but I'm gonna go with Glover. I think Glover needs to. He's got not that he has more tools, but he has better tools if he can get it to the way he wants to fight this fight.
Okay, that's a good analysis. I like that. I agree with a lot of it. I'm going to talk a little bit about Jamal Hill, though. We got a guy who's quite a bit younger than Glover, and he's hungry. Glover has already had the championship belt for a little while, and you got Jamal Hill, who this was a gift, I think. They chose him, and I don't think he's going to let this go to waste. I think he's going to keep a distance from Glover because he knows that he can't match him with the jiu-jitsu on the ground. And nobody even thinks that. Glover gets him on the ground. He's going to tie him up, choke him out, do something to him. Pretty nasty down there. But at Glover, they both hit hard. They both hit really, really hard. So there could be a flash knockout by either one of them. I can see that happening. Glover's got so much experience, bro. You know what I mean? He has fought every style of fight, and he's just seen things that Jamal Hill has not seen. Plus
he's training with Alex.
Yeah. Plus fighting for a title. Plus fighting in Brazil. Okay, that's some stuff against you, man. I mean, Jamal Hill's going to try to be cool, collected, but he's going to be nervous as heck in the back room in the green room before they come out, because he's going to hear that crowd, you know, and they're going to say whatever they say in Portuguese, you're going to die.
Yeah, I don't like that. What also I don't like about Glover is they're showing him on the beach. He's hanging out. I'm like, is he drinking a mixed drink? You need to keep your mind focused, man. What are we doing?
He probably knows something we don't, you know. He probably, you know, but I think Glover wants that belt back, because if he can end his swan song, his career fighting Yuri and beating Yuri, you know, it's going to be one of the greatest comebacks in UFC history. And what a way to go to end your career. And I think he's dreaming about that stuff. So I don't think he's taking Jamal Hill lightly. I just think they put those cuts in there from when they follow him all around with the cameras, you know, to make it look like that. And if Jamal Hill falls for it, that's his problem, man. So my pick is very, very difficult. I'm gonna go with, oh man, I'm gonna flip a coin. You know what? I wish I had a coin. I need a freaking coin. Anyway, I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna flip this. So that's tails.
Sticky note?
That's heads. Oh, heads! I'm gonna go with Glover.
Glover, okay.
Going with Glover. Okay, guys, we're coming to the end of our time. We want you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Knucklehead, whatever, what's the name of it?
Knuckle Sandwich MMA.
I'm being a knucklehead. It's a spit. I spit. Anyway, we want you guys to like, share, and subscribe to Knuckle Sandwich MMA. And before we leave, we got 2 minutes left, Nando. I want to talk about Sean Strickland. What is your thought about that fight?
I think Sean Strickland's good. He's back. I think he, you know, maybe, like, who does he fight next?
What did you think of the fight itself, though?
I think he was pretty smart. I think he did well. I think that I thought he was going to lose. To be honest, I thought he was going to lose. He looked great. And then he just starts talking. I was like, oh, here goes the post conference. Now I got to get my chips and my soda, because he's going to start calling everybody names and going off all kinds of stuff.
Yep. Well, I thought it was a very exciting fight, and he fought the way that he should have fought Cannonier, and I think he would have beat Cannonier if he fought that way. But Imavov is a tough dude. There is no doubt about it. They both took some heavy shots, but Strickland fought a smart fight. When he was getting jabbed one too many times, he'd tie him up against the fence, and that control time allowed him to rest and gather his senses. And Imavov would throw an elbow or a punch on occasion, but he let him hold him up against the fence too much. And I think that ultimately cost him. But what a smart fight. I'm happy we both picked Imavov, as we said at the beginning. But I was rooting for Strickland, man. I was like, holy crap, that's how you're supposed to fight. That's how you're supposed to do it. And so, yeah, I am curious of who's next for Strickland. But I think they're going to give him somebody big, because he saved that card.